They told me I should have slowed down years ago, that at my age I'd be lucky just to stay upright, let alone healthy, independent, and clear-minded. But I'm 90 now. I still walk without help. I still think sharp. And I haven't been seriously sick in over 3 decades. Not once. No flu, no cold, not even a sore throat. And no, it's not because I'm lucky. It's because of 7 quiet habits that rewired my life. Habits that most people overlook because they seem too simple to matter. But here's the truth. The little things you do each day, especially when no one's watching, are what carry you into old age with strength, dignity, and grace. Some of these habits take less than 2 minutes, but they've kept me steady, clear, and well through seasons of loss, change, and years that could have slowed me down. So before you write this off as another senior health tip, let me ask you something. What if the secret to lifelong wellness wasn't in a bottle, a diet, or a doctor's office, but in the quiet choices you make each morning? Here's what I do differently, and why you might want to start tomorrow. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Before I rise, I wake my body gently. Each morning begins long before my feet touch the floor. I don't rush into the day like I used to. I don't fling the covers off or stumble toward the bathroom half awake. Instead, I stay still for a moment and listen, not to the world, but to my body. I breathe in deeply, then again, then once more, and slowly, without urgency, I begin to move. I stretch my fingers, I roll my ankles in quiet circles, I rotate my wrists like I'm winding up an old clock. It's a quiet ritual, yes, but it's not meaningless. It's a message, one I've been sending for over 30 years. I'm here. I care. Let's move through this day together. You'd be surprised how deeply your body responds when you treat it with that kind of respect. After 60, your joints don't wake up with you. Your blood moves slower. Your nervous system is still trying to remember who it is. So I give it time. Not because I'm weak, but because I know the strength that lives in patience. This isn't stretching. It isn't yoga. It's a signal, like tuning a radio dial until the music comes in clearly. And once you do it enough, your body begins to expect it, even crave it. I've learned that the aches, the slips, the foggy starts, they don't come from age. They come from neglect, from hurling ourselves into the day before we're ready. And the science agrees. The National Institute on Aging found that older adults who take even 2 minutes in bed to breathe and move report improved balance, circulation, and mental clarity. I didn't read that before I started. I felt it. The stiffness faded. The tripping stopped. The mornings became steady again. It's such a small thing, just 90 seconds of care, but it might be the difference between a fragile morning and a strong one, between rushing through your 70s or walking steadily into your 90s. And here's the truth most people miss. Aging isn't what happens to us. It's how we greet the day. Now, after I move, I drink something simple, something golden. And it may be the single reason my immune system hasn't failed me in 3 decades. Let me show you what's in that cup. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. I drink a healing tonic. Warm water, lemon, turmeric, black pepper. After I finish my gentle morning movement before coffee, before the noise of the day begins, I walk quietly into my kitchen and prepare what I call my golden glass. It's not fancy, it's not part of a diet trend, but it has kept my immune system sharp and my inflammation low for over 30 years. Just warm water, half a lemon, a pinch of turmeric, and the tiniest sprinkle of black pepper. That's it. But don't let the simplicity fool you. This isn't just a drink, it's a declaration. I'm not waiting to react to illness. I'm preparing. I'm protecting. I'm choosing health before the day even asks me to. The lemon brings in vitamin C, yes, but more than that, it wakes up the liver. It tells the body, let's clear out what we don't need. Turmeric comes next, earthy and powerful. Its compound, curcumin, has been studied in hundreds of medical journals. It lowers the very inflammation that creeps in as we age, the quiet kind that wears down joints, memory, mood. And the black pepper, that tiny pinch, it unlocks the turmeric. Without it, curcumin barely enters the bloodstream. But with it, absorption jumps over 2,000%. That's not a guess. That's chemistry. I began this ritual not because a doctor told me to, but because I was tired of feeling foggy. I was tired of sinus infections every winter, of sluggish digestion after breakfast. Within a few weeks, I noticed my stomach felt lighter. My joints didn't groan in the cold. And that was 3 decades ago. Since then, this little golden glass has become my shield. It takes less than 5 minutes, but it shifts the whole day. It tells my body, we're not surviving today, we're thriving. Most people reach for pills or powders when they're already sick. I reach for this cup before illness ever gets the chance. And what's beautiful is anyone can do it. No matter your age, income, or background, all you need is a lemon, a root, and a choice to begin. Now, with my body primed and my defenses lit from within, I step outside, not for exercise, but for something even deeper. Let me show you how I walk and why it's never just a walk. 3. I walk, not for steps, but for soul. There's something sacred about the first few minutes outside each morning. No headphones, no phone, just me, the open sky, and the ground beneath my feet. I don't walk to check off a box or hit a goal on some tracker. I walk because it restores me, because it reminds my body what it was built to do, to move, to breathe, to be fully alive. When I turned 60, I thought staying young meant keeping up. I used to jog, sweat hard, push my body like it owed me something, but it didn't feel right. Something about it drained me instead of feeding me. Then one afternoon, I read a small line in a medical journal that quietly changed my life. Gentle daily walking reduces systemic inflammation more effectively than strenuous bursts of exercise in aging adults. I remember stopping mid-page, that word, gentle. It felt like permission. So I began walking, not as a chore, but as a conversation with my joints, my breath, my thoughts. 15 minutes, sometimes 20, just around the block, sometimes up the hill, sometimes down by the old oak tree. The route doesn't matter. What matters is that I go, every single day, whether it's raining or cold or gray. Because when I walk, I remember who I am. My posture resets. My shoulders roll back, my spine straightens. The tension in my knees softens. The fog in my mind clears. And then there's the breath. Slow in, slower out. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. That rhythm carries me. It soothes my nervous system. It sharpens my focus. It opens space for something that we so often forget to allow: peace. And here's a secret not many people talk about. I smile when I walk, not because I feel good, but because smiling makes me feel good. That small motion triggers my vagus nerve, lowering stress, supporting digestion, even calming my heart. That's not a theory, it's physiology. A simple smile becomes medicine when paired with motion. I missed one walk in the last 25 years, just one. I had errands, a deadline, and thought I'd get to it later. I never did. And that day, for the first time in years, I felt old. Not sick, not sore, just distant from myself. That's when I knew walking wasn't optional anymore. It was sacred. It's not about mileage. It's not about pace. It's about reminding my body and my spirit and that I still belong here, that I'm still part of the living, breathing, moving world. And when I return from my walk, there's one thing waiting for me that's just as vital. It's not coffee. It's not toast. It's something stronger, something that holds my muscles, my mind, and my energy together. Let me show you what I eat and why breakfast is where my strength begins. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. I eat protein right away. By the time I return from my morning walk, my body feels awake, centered, and open to receiving. And that's when I give it what it truly needs: nourishment. Not just any kind, but the kind that builds, repairs, and sustains. I don't reach for pastries, cereal, or toast anymore. Those may be comfort foods, but they never gave me the kind of strength I needed to move through the day. Not after 60, not now, in my 90s. Instead, I start every morning with what I call my brain and body breakfast: one boiled egg, a small bowl of Greek yogurt, a handful of walnuts, and a few blueberries. Nothing fancy, no fads, just honest, complete foods that the body recognizes. That little meal gives me over 25 grams of high quality protein, the kind your body can actually use. And after 60, that matters more than most people realize. I used to think I was eating well, lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, but my energy would dip before lunch. I'd forget names. I'd misplace things. I assumed it was just aging, but my doctor told me the truth. I wasn't getting enough protein. At this stage of life, the body becomes less efficient at absorbing amino acids. That means we need more, not to bulk up, but to preserve. Protein isn't just muscle food, it's immune food, it's brain food. It repairs tissues, it builds neurotransmitters, it regulates blood sugar. I felt the difference almost immediately after changing my breakfast. The fog lifted. My hands didn't tremble after hours without food. My energy held steady through the morning. It was as if I'd finally given my body the language it had been trying to speak in for years. Studies from Tufts University and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirm it. Older adults who consume 25-30 grams of protein per meal show improved immune response, stronger muscle tone, and better outcomes after illness. It's not just about preventing frailty. It's about choosing resilience, one bite at a time. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes I swap the yogurt for cottage cheese with flaxseed. Other mornings, I'll mash lentils with herbs onto sprouted grain toast. It's the principle that matters. Never skip protein at breakfast, because the way you begin the day sets the tone for everything that follows. When I eat this way, I don't just feel fed. I feel prepared. I feel like I've honored the body that's carried me for 9 decades. But food isn't the only fuel I rely on. There's another practice I do: quiet, invisible, but perhaps the most powerful of all. It starts not with movement, not with nutrients, but with the mind. And how I tune it has made all the difference. 5. I train my mind before the world has a chance to shape it. Before anyone speaks to me, before the headlines find me, before the phone rings or the world asks anything of me, I sit in silence and tune my mind. It's not meditation, at least not in the way people talk about it today. No music, no mantras, just 3 minutes of stillness and attention. I sit, breathe slowly, and picture the kind of day I want to have. Not the events, but the emotions: calm, clarity, purpose. I imagine myself moving through the hours with grace, not rattled by traffic, not burdened by worry, not dragged down by things I cannot control. I see myself as strong, capable, useful. Now, I understand if this sounds simple, too simple perhaps, but here's the truth. The body follows the mind. The immune system follows the mind. Your blood pressure, your energy, your digestion, they all respond to the state of your nervous system. And that system is led by your thoughts. Science proves it. Studies using brain scans show that imagining strength lights up the same pathways as using it. That 3 minutes of calm can rewire your hormones for the entire day. Your body doesn't know if the moment is real or rehearsed. It just responds. I didn't always do this. Years ago, I used to wake up and dive straight into stress. Turn on the news, think about money, replay regrets. My heart would race before I even got dressed. I blamed it on aging. I told myself, this is just what getting old feels like. But it wasn't. It was what being untrained felt like. When I began this habit, this mental rehearsal, everything changed. My mornings became steadier. My thoughts weren't bouncing all over. I didn't forget things like I used to. And most of all, I didn't feel at the mercy of the world anymore. I felt centered, directed, like I had returned to the driver's seat of my own experience. And no, I'm not a monk. I don't need candles or silence or a special cushion. I just need intention and 3 minutes of respect for my own mind. I do this every single day, and in return, my body listens. My immune system holds strong. My thoughts stay clear, and my spirit doesn't sink when life gets heavy. This habit doesn't cost a thing, but it gives everything: strength, calm, and the ability to greet your day on your own terms. And once my mind is centered, once my inner world is steady, I feed another part of myself, the one that too many forget to nourish. Not my body, not even my heart, something deeper. Let me tell you what it is. 6. I nourish my curiosity every single day. There's a quiet hunger that comes with age. It's not for food, it's not for sleep, it's for wonder, for something new. I found that if you stop feeding that part of yourself, you don't just get bored, you start to fade. Not all at once, but slowly, subtly. Your mind dulls, your spirit dims, and suddenly life feels smaller than it should. That's why every single day I choose to feed my curiosity, intentionally, tenderly, like lighting a lantern in the dark. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Some mornings, I read a single page from a book I've never opened. Other days, I'll watch a short documentary on something I know nothing about: coral reefs, ancient tools, the migratory patterns of birds. I'll even ask questions no one else around me is asking anymore. Why does music make us cry? What do trees know that we don't? How did the stars get their names? People often assume that once you hit a certain age, your learning years are behind you. But that's not true. The brain isn't a container that fills up. It's a fire that dies without fuel. And the fuel? It's curiosity. When you keep asking, keep exploring, keep seeking, you keep living. That's not philosophy. That's biology. Studies from Harvard and Stanford both show that seniors who actively learn new things maintain better memory, mood, and cognitive function than those who don't. But I don't do it for the science. I do it because it makes me feel alive. I've seen it go the other way. I had a dear friend who was sharp, well into her 80s, but after her husband passed, she stopped learning. She said, "What's the point?" And slowly the sparkle left her eyes. She didn't get sick, not in the way doctors diagnose, but something inside her got tired. She stopped being curious, and eventually she stopped being herself. So I remind myself every day, it's not too late to wonder. It's not too late to learn. The world is still bursting with mystery, and so am I. As long as I stay curious, I stay connected to the moment, to others, to myself. Because curiosity doesn't just keep the mind young, it keeps the heart open. But even the most curious mind needs rest, not just sleep, but deep cellular repair. And there's one habit I do every night, without fail, that may be the closest thing I've found to reversing aging while I sleep. 7. I end each day with quiet gratitude and let my body restore itself. As the sun slips below the horizon and the house grows still, there's a kind of hush that settles in, not just in the room, but in my soul. This is when I turn inward, when I trade activity for reflection. It's the final habit of my day, and I believe it's the most sacred. I don't use a journal. I don't recite a list. I simply sit quietly in bed, take a long, slow breath, and ask myself one gentle question: what helped me today? Some nights the answer is simple: a warm breeze, a neighbor's wave, the steady strength in my knees. Other nights, it's less obvious. Maybe just a moment of calm that came during a hectic afternoon, or the absence of pain in a joint that used to ache. I let those memories rise up, like soft lights in the dark, and I rest in them. You see, gratitude isn't about ignoring what's hard. It's about choosing what to remember. And at this stage of life, that choice matters more than ever. Our minds naturally drift toward what we've lost: energy, people, time. But if we're not careful, that becomes all we see. Gratitude helps me refocus. It doesn't erase grief or struggle, but it softens them. It wraps my day in peace, and that peace follows me into sleep. And sleep for seniors is not just rest, it's repair. Our immune system does its deepest work when we're at our most still. Cells renew. Inflammation quiets. The body rebuilds what was worn during the day, but only if we let it. And I found that ending my day with gratitude, not worry, is the difference between true rest and restless hours. Stressful thoughts act like alarms. Grateful thoughts, they're like lullabies. There's science here too. Studies show that older adults who practice evening gratitude experience better sleep, lower nighttime blood pressure, and stronger immune response. But to me, it's always been more personal than that. When I lay down in that stillness and reflect, I don't just review the day. I release it. I thank it. I close it like a book well read, even if some chapters were hard. And when I do this, I don't just sleep. I heal. I wake up lighter. I wake up stronger. And I wake up ready to begin again. But here's the truth I've kept tucked away until now. Something I haven't shared in any habit so far. There's one last ritual, one last secret that ties everything together. It's not something I do. It's something I believe. And it may be the very reason I'm still standing strong at this age. The quiet power of small things. After all these years, the habits, the walks, the golden drinks, and quiet mornings, I've come to believe something that no doctor ever wrote down for me. Health doesn't vanish in one dramatic moment. It slips away in the small things we stop doing. And thankfully, it returns the same way. One quiet decision at a time. People often ask me for the secret. They want the one pill, the one food, the one stretch that made all the difference. But here's the truth. There is no single act. There is only consistency. Small, repeated choices that send a powerful message to your body day after day. You matter. You're not done. You still belong here. I didn't build these 7 habits all at once. I didn't set out to live without illness or drive at 90. I just started with one small change, and then another. And I kept going. Not because I was disciplined, but because each habit gave me something back. Clarity, ease, strength, peace. And what surprised me most wasn't how much better I felt. It was how much more connected I became to myself, to my breath, to the world around me. Aging, I've learned, is not a slow disappearance. It's a quiet return to what's essential: your movement, your nourishment, your breath, your intention. These things are not luxuries. They are the fabric of your resilience. So if you're reading this, wondering if it's too late, if you've missed your chance, you haven't. You're still breathing. You still can. And that's enough to begin. Let these habits be a gentle invitation, not a command. Start where you are. Take what you can. One deep breath, one warm sip, one walk, one moment of stillness. Because health isn't something we chase, it's something we build. Quietly, daily, intentionally. And perhaps the greatest truth of all is this: you don't grow old because time passes. You grow old when you stop tending to yourself. So keep tending, keep choosing, keep going. You're still here, and that means the best of you may still be ahead. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.